The story begins at a sunrise in the Artisan Kingdom. It's quiet and serene. We then see Aster on a balcony, just taking in the fresh air as much as he can. Just then, Nestor appears behind him.
The Elders and Dragon Lords will be arriving soon, Aster. Shouldn't you be preparing your statement?
I know very well what I will address at this council. I'm merely taking in the peace, Nestor.
If you don't mind me asking, why so?
Because this may be the last time we all get to bask in it, before it's gone. Meanwhile, in the old ruins, the fairy known as Zoe is guarding the ancient portal, sitting down on a piece of rubble.
Being the only fairy to guard the only portal left in this place gets very boring.
Just then, an ominous shadow appears behind Zoe.
I bet everyone else is having a blast back at home.
Zoe then yelps as she's captured in a cage by none other than Toasty.
Oh, fret not, my lovely little bug.
We've got plans for you. All Zoe can do is look on in fear at the thought of what she's going to be used for. Moments later at the Dragon Junkyard, Nasty Nork is sitting in his war room alongside his cabal of villains such as Toasty, Dr. Shemp, Blowhard, Metalhead, and Jacques.
Right then, let's get down to business. Sheep Guy!
It's Sheep Creek! I mean, Toasty!
Whatever. You got what you mentioned, right?
Why, of course. Toasty then pulls out a cage with Zoe in it, looking angry as ever.
A fairy? I think I know where this is going.
Alright, what's the big deal?
Funny, I was actually wondering the same thing.
You're obviously not as vigilant as I am, Blowhard the Blowhard.
Better than a has-been who messes with forces
Beyond understanding! Why don't you come over to this side of the table and say that? Enough!
We, despite my force situation, agreed to this alliance so we could discuss how we can eliminate the dragons. I fail to see what a fairy has to do with it. Besides, I detest the use of the weakness of magic.
Well, tough toenails, Metalhead.
Because this fairy doesn't involve the dragons at all.
Then why capture her? I don't get it.
Tell me, how much do you know about the Thieves Guild?
Intriguing. Yes, intriguing.
Metalhead then looks at Nasty Nork trying to copy his seriousness, only for Nasty to then pretend he wasn't copying his brother, whistling in response.
Tell us more.
Meanwhile, within Artisan Castle, the Dragon Elders and Dragon Lords convene within the main hall. Aster steps up at the balcony, ready to speak.
This meeting of the Council of Elders shall now commence.
Aster, with all due respect, old friend, why call upon us?
I also wish to know why the Dragon Lords have been brought to this council. Never in history has there ever been a need for the leaders of 5 of the 6 kingdoms to convene.
Now, everyone, let's hear Aster out. He's never steered us wrong before.
That's not what I recall.
Mistakes were made. Let the past stay in the past. That being said, I fear history may have a chance at repeating itself.
Aster then pulls out and drops the shards of the broken spirit gem he's been protecting down onto the foyer. The Elder is looking back in shock.
The spirit gem has been broken? But how?
What is the meaning of this? We agreed to place it in your care so it wouldn't be shattered.
If the spirit gem has been shattered, it means one lucky dragon has gained indomitable power from the ancestors. Who might this dragon be?
Aster is hesitant to answer the question.
Elder Aster, your hesitation worries us. Who is the dragon that has gained the power of the ancestors? Please inform us.
A purple dragon. The elders look on in shock as they hear these words. Meanwhile, in town square, Spyro, Flame, and Sparks are waiting outside of a merchant store. Spyro and friends then hear the sound of the store's bell ringing. only to see Ember walk out with a bag of something. Spyro and friends look at her with anticipation.
Well, did you get it?
I got it.
Ember places the bag down and her friends look in awe as she pulls out what appears to be wrapped chocolate in the shape of sheep. Holy schmoly, we've reached the chocolate motherlode! It's been so long since we had some of Wonky Wanky's chocolate. Is that gonna cause some copyright issues?
What are we waiting for, bros? Let's dig in!
Spyro and friends begin chowing down on the chocolate that they've gotten. As Spyro, who's still chewing on his chocolate, looks up, he then notices something.
Hey guys, look!
Spyro and friends look on to see a passing fairy carrying what looks to be a dragon's egg.
Must have just gotten it from the Thieves Guild.
Thieves Guild?
That's right, you live at the edge of the Misty Bog. You wouldn't know about the Thieves Guild.
Dragon eggs are pretty valuable, dude. The Thieves Guild's been trying to swipe dragon eggs for years since the Nork Wars. For what, though?
No one knows.
Wow. So what are the fairies for?
Fairies possess a special type of magic that can let them reach anywhere in the Six Kingdoms instantly, especially a thieves' den.
Thieves' dens are basically hideouts.
Like the treehouse we never finished building. When did we ever start building a treehouse? Boy, was that one crazy wedding. Spyro and friends sit in awkward silence for a moment.
Okay.
But wait, the year of the dragon just passed, didn't it? No, great. Does that mean we have a whole bunch of fire-breathing lizards in diapers to worry about?
Actually, no. You have the Thieves Guild to thank for that, too. They apparently have access to magic that can halt a dragon's hatching. At least until they do what they do with them.
Huh. Well, it's a good thing we aren't gonna be running into them anytime soon. Don't jinx it. Spyro and friends then continue eating their chocolate. Meanwhile, within the guarded hallways of Artisan Castle, shadowy silhouettes are swiftly dashing through the halls during the meeting with the Council of Elders and Dragon Lords, undetected by either wandering guards. As the figures get closer to the entrance of the Treasury Vault, they actually zoom past it, nearing a bigger and more decorative door. After picking the lock, the shadowy figures open the door to find a collection of dragon eggs. The leading shadowy figure then shows a white grinned smile on his face. Back in the main hall of Artisan Castle, the meeting continues with tension in the air.
Why are we even discussing this? This purple dragon should be contained.
I fear the past has as much as you do, Titan, but we cannot simply restrain the youngling. I agree. He's done nothing wrong.
So we are to wait until he does? And what if our old friend gets to him? Like when he tried with the youngling's predecessor.
That will never happen.
Spyro is nothing like his predecessor. Spyro possesses a heart of gold and risked his life for this kingdom when he's never had to.
This only brings to question what ulterior motives he may possess.
He's a youngling, Titan. You must give him a chance to learn.
Last I remember, the last time we gave a purple dragon a chance to learn, we had to abandon our home.
Outside the castle, the fairy carrying the dragon egg arrives to deliver it, leading the guards to let her inside the castle. The moment the door is opened, however, the fairy and guards notice the shadowy figures revealed to be members of the Thieves Guild sneaking out of the castle, a coincidental error on the thieves' part. The blue thieves then notice the fairy holding the dragon egg, leading them to attempt to snatch it, whilst also subduing the guards. Meanwhile, the council continues.
We should take a vote to contain this purple dragon.
Suddenly, Bruno, the leader of the Beastmakers, and voiced by John Goodman, stomps his staff to get the attention of the elders.
Don't go counting us out, Titan. The Dragon Lords were called out here for a reason, and I vote not to imprison the little guy.
In all honesty, I vote against it as well. What? We are not barbarians, at least not anymore. However, I must question you, Lord Bruno. Were you not aware of his existence within your swamp?
The Dragonfly people have been protected by the Beastmakers for years since the Nork Wars, and we will continue to do so. as well as protect any who they take in, Spyro included.
Back outside, Spyro and friends return to the castle, only to see the guards knocked out and the fairy and dragon eggs snatched by the blue thieves, while one of them carries a bag of dragon eggs on its back. As the blue thieves notice Spyro and friends, they immediately attempt to escape, causing Spyro and friends to look in the thieves' direction with an awkward expression.
I told you not to jinx it, dude. Sparks, find out where they're going. We're gonna find Aster.
Spyro and friends then head into the castle.
What? But... Oh!
Sparks then gives chase toward the blue thieves, keeping his distance by flying above. Back in the main hall, tensions rise.
I agree to vote for Spyro's choice of path. A purple dragon may be just what we need in these dire times.
Well, that's my vote.
I vote for the little one's freedom as well. I had sensed a disturbance within the realm of dreams, and it was Spyro and his friends who restored the balance within it. And you're telling us this now? The guardians of the realm of dreams blinded my sight. I believe they have a purpose for him, and so I wish for him to follow his chosen path. Really? And let me ask you all this. Would you protect him enough to warrant war? Enough!
The room is silenced by Nestor's outburst. Even knowing Nestor's vote, obviously, you have been outvoted, Titan, which leaves one order of business left.
And what is that, pray tell, Aster?
Whether or not we tell Spyro the truth of his birth. Suddenly, Spyro and friends barge into the main hall. The Council of Elders and Dragon Lords shocked to see a purple dragon.
Aster! Nestor! The eggs were stolen!
What? Suddenly, a large green light is seen through the glass window above. Just then, green beams of magic break through the window, shattering it, and hit every dragon in the room, aside from Spyro and friends.
Nestor! Aster!
In an instant, Nestor, Aster, and the rest of the dragons in the main hall are transformed into those crystal dragon statues. Spyro looks on in horror.
Oh no! We gotta go! Hightail it, dude!
Spyro and friends then run out of the castle, not knowing what to do.
Ah!
Does anyone hear high-pitched girly screaming?
My screaming's not girly!
Just then, Spyro and friends notice Sparks flying away for his life from a few blue thieves who are trying to capture him.
A little help here? Hang on, Sparks!
Just before the trio could charge in, a beam of pink magic is shot at them, turning the blue thieves into gems, shocking Spyro and friends. Now that's what I call a form of karma. Spyro and friends then look on as the caster of that spell is revealed to be none other than Mrs. Shoutfire.
Are you children all right? Granny? Did you just...
Yes, I know. You have questions, but right now we must make haste.
For what?
For the Dragon Junkyard. Back in the Dragon Junkyard, blue thieves arrive with cages of fairies in hand. Meanwhile, Nasty Nork is instructing multiple Norks who seem to be wearing construction gear.
Good. Put him with the others. Today's gonna be a fun day.
Just then, Shep and Blowhard approach Nasty, looking in the same direction he is. Nasty Nork and company look on with a smile, as they bask in the glory of a nearly complete portal.
That it will, Nasty. That it will. The rest of you get ready. We're about to start a test run.
What exactly did you have in mind? Nasty Nork just shows a smile. Back in the Artisan Kingdom, Spyro and friends are walking through the woods, unknown to where their destination lies.
Granny, what's going on? And how exactly are we gonna get to the Dragon Great and Junkyard?
Okay, can we pretend we know what that is? As you all may know, there used to be 6 dragon families, hence the 6 kingdoms.
But during the Nork Wars, one of the families were wiped out. The Machinists, a race of silver dragons who were responsible for a lot of the technology the 6 kingdoms use. But during the Nork Wars, they ultimately invaded their kingdom and made a base there. After the Norks lost the war, the Machinist Kingdom became the Dragon Junkyard, as well as the prison for remaining Norks.
Mrs. Shoutfire shows an expression of slight sadness in response to Ember's words. Just then, the group arrives at the Dragonhead Monument.
What are we doing here?
The group then stops in front of the monument.
You'll see soon enough.
Mrs. Shoutfire then begins to wave her hands to cast a spell, followed by a pink light emanating from the jewel on her necklace, leading Ember to realize something.
My granny's necklace.
What about it?
She always said it was a family heirloom. But that glow, it's a spirit gem.
What?
Mrs. Shoutfire then casts a spell that opens the Dragonhead Monument, revealing an ancient portal within.
What?
Okay, now I've seen everything.
You mean this was here the whole time? In the mouth of the monument? Granny, what is this?
An ancient portal. The one to the Dragon Junkyard.
But wait!
There's no time. We must venture to the junkyard and save the fairies.
Fairies? Wow, chicka wow wow, why didn't you say so in the first place? I'm going in! Sparks then zooms forward toward the portal.
Spork's way!
Sparks goes into the portal without thinking. And there he goes.
Can we get a little insight, Mrs. Shoutfire? Oh, someone's getting inside, all right.
Spyro and friends then look atop the Dragonhead Monument to see Toasty, accompanied by 4 dogs. He then jumps down alongside his canine companions.
Oh great, it's Sheep Creep again.
Don't call me Sheep Creep. It's Toasty.
Oh, you're about to get toasty, bro.
Flame then breathes fire and engulfs Toasty in flames. However, Toasty counters with a burst of icy wind shooting out of his pumpkin's eyes, canceling the flames out.
Oh, Sparks. Feels like this would be the time Sparks chimes in.
Toasty and his dogs then slowly inch closer.
I had a few upgrades to my arsenal, one being a freeze ray.
Spyro and friends look on and worry.
Now, with that out of the way, let me introduce you to a few childhood friends. Sit 'em, boys!
As the dogs charge ahead, Mrs. Shoutfire charges as well, using a form of martial arts against the dogs, surprising both Spyro and friends, and even Toasty, all open-mouthed in shock.
Okay, I have so many questions.
Yeah, like since when is your grandma so cool? Wait a minute.
Toasty then gets a good look at Mrs. Shoutfire's necklace.
Well, this is quite the development. It seems Nork was unable to freeze all of the Dragon Elders after all.
Spyro and friends then look on at Mrs. Shoutfire in shock in response to this revelation.
Granny? An elder? Long retired, actually. But you'll find this elder's claws still sharp.
Fine then. Dragon meat tastes better with age.
Toasty charges forth with his scythe, only for Mrs. Shoutfire to counter every single one of his attacks with her martial arts.
So this is the ancient form of Dragon Kata. You seem to know your dragonology. Blending in helped me with my homework on how to eliminate you dragons.
Toasty then uses his flames to temporarily blind Mrs. Shoutfire, followed by freezing her body with his freeze ray.
Oh, cracks.
Just then, Spyro and friends charge in to help Mrs. Shoutfire.
Hang on, Granny!
Toasty once again fires his freeze ray, leading the trio of dragons to shoot a combined fire stream to counter. The two elements clash, the 3 struggling to hold the freeze ray back.
Finally! I'll roast you over a fire yet!
Mrs. Shoutfire then uses all of the strength she can muster to break free of the ice. After the ice shatters, Mrs. Shoutfire flies into the air and then breathes the fabled spirit flame at Toasty, engulfing him.
Nice try, but wait, what? No! No!
With the flames engulfing him, he's distracted enough for the trio of dragons to push through his freezing freeze ray, allowing their flames to reach him, causing an explosion. In the aftermath of the explosion, pieces of Toasty's wooden stilts and hands are lying all over the ground, followed by Toasty landing in the middle of the mess, covered in black char and slightly unconscious, stars rotating over his head. After regaining consciousness, Toasty looks up to see the 4 dragons looking down at him in slight anger, making Toasty slightly fearful.
Well, it looks like I've got calibrations to work on, so why don't we all call it a day?
Oh, you're gonna have a day alright, in the dungeon for the trouble you've caused.
Yeah, especially for bringing back that monster, Gnarly Nork. You're lucky I don't roast you for that.
You think you have the nerve to tell me what's right and wrong after what you dragons have done?
Yeah, we eat sheep. It's a circle of life, what can we say?
Oh, that's one thing, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Then spill it. What exactly did we do wrong? What exactly did we do for Gnarly to start a war that took all of our parents from us?
Gnarly started the war.
What exactly is so funny?
Because Gnarly didn't start the war. We did. Spyro and friends once again look at Mrs. Shoutfire in shock.
What?
Now I understand. Wanting to keep all your skeletons in the closet? Well, life doesn't work out that way. In case you didn't get the memo, you dragons aren't from around here. And before you all showed up, this land and where the 6 kingdoms lay belonged to the Norks, and you took it all from them.
No, that's a lie. My mother and Granny would never.
It's no lie. Ember looks to her grandmother in confusion.
No, Granny, why are you lying for him? Say it's not so. Tell me you're lying.
I'm sorry, Ember, but everything he speaks is the truth. Ember's expression turns from one of denial to one of utter horror. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to check out our merch store, Buy Me a Coffee page, and Amazon affiliate link linked in the description and pinned comment below, so you can help us expand the channel and give you guys higher quality content. Also, if you want to check out our original content, be sure to check out the playlists linked in the description below. With all that said and done, I'm JT Anime, and I'll check you guys later.